Welcome to our 5-minute Bible study in the book of Revelation. Today we are still in Revelation chapter 21. We're at the very end of the chapter. We've been looking at John's vision of the holy city, the New Jerusalem, the bride of Christ that has now come down out of heaven unto the earth. What a wonderful city it is. It is the city of God. Now, as we get to the end of chapter 21, the last paragraph really, John has an interesting thing he notices about the city. He says, I did not see a temple in the city. I did not see a temple in the city. Now this is fascinating because in ancient times, in any great city, there's going to be a temple. Even in pagan cities, there's going to be a temple to the pagan gods they worship. But the temple, that public place of worship, is going to be vital to the life of any city. It's going to be the sort of the heart of the city, or the center of the city. This is even in parallel to the vision that Ezekiel had, the prophet of the Old Testament, many, many years before. Ezekiel had also had a vision of a New Jerusalem. Ezekiel lived during the time of the exile when he had seen Jerusalem disappear and the temple destroyed. And in a vision, he had seen the glory of God depart from the temple. And at the end of Ezekiel's book, he has this vision of when Jerusalem is restored and when the temple is restored, and all the focus is on the temple. And he sees, Ezekiel does, he sees the glory of God return to the temple. It's a wonderful, wonderful vision of the future. Well, now John is sort of building on that, except in the city he sees, there is no temple. Now, why is there no temple in the New Jerusalem? He tells us, I did not see a temple in the city, because the Lord God Almighty and the Lamb are its temple. The city does not need the sun or the moon to shine upon it, for the glory of God gives it light, and the Lamb is the Lamb. The nations will walk by its light, and the kings of the earth will bring their splendor to it. On that day, its gates will never be shut, for there will be no night there, and the glory and honor of the nations will be brought into it. There is no temple in the city because God himself dwells in the midst of it. The Lamb dwells in the city, and God and the Lamb, they are the temple. See, you don't need a place to go and meet with God when God is right there. And so the wonderful thing about this city is that God is in her midst. In this new creation, God is present. This is the fulfillment of Emmanuel. Remember when Jesus was born, they said, you'll call him Emmanuel. God is with us. And that's what we see in this new city, this new Jerusalem. God is with us. We need not have a temple. In essence, we are the temple. Now remember last time I told you that the measurements of the city are a perfect cube. It says wide and long and high. They're all equal. It's a perfect cube, which in the old temple, in the Holy of Holies, it was a cube. So since the whole city is a cube, in essence, the entire city is the temple. Do you understand? You don't need a temple in the city because God dwells in her midst. And therefore, the whole city is the temple. Now, the city is also the community of God's people. That is, we are the temple of God. You know, Jesus says that in the book of Peter, through his apostle Peter, that we're living stones built upon the cornerstone, and he himself is the cornerstone. We are built as a holy temple unto God. The people of God, we are the temple of God. And John sees this in his new vision of the holy city. When the city of Jerusalem comes down, there's no temple there, for the city itself is the temple. The people, we are the temple, and God dwells among us. You know, I've always known in the church that the church is really not the building. The building is just the place we meet. But the church is the people of God. What we see in this New Jerusalem. The temple is the people of God. So what we learn from John's vision of our ultimate destiny is that we live in this world as the temple of God. We live as the people of God, and he dwells in the midst of his people. And at the end, in the final consummation of the age, that will be fulfilled completely. And it will be a perfect world, a perfect city. No temple in the city. because the Lamb is among us. God is with us. All right, tomorrow next time we're going to continue looking at the city. We're going to look at the river of living water that flows in the midst of the city, and we'll look at that next time. But today, I hope you have a great day, and I hope you live as the people of God, the temple of God, for you are the temple of God. You are the city of God. You are the church. You are His people, the people of the Lamb. Hope you have a great day today, and I'll see you next time for our 5-minute Bible study.